Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. So today I'm going to be doing another revisiting like old palettes video, and I thought I would use some of my Kaleidos palettes. So I did a first impression on the pink one, the Astro Pink palette, Futurism 3 Astro Pink, and I have two other ones. So I have the Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green and then the Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze. So I thought I would use these two palettes together today. I love Kaleidos. They're one of my favorite shadow formulas. I think as a brand, they're just doing really interesting, cool things, and I really love them. One thing that I didn't mention in my first impressions video was that when I first placed this order, so I placed an order for these three palettes, and then I also got two of their highlighters. So this is one here, Ray Rider, it's what I'm wearing today, and I also got a pink one that I don't have with me right now. But essentially when these palettes came, there was the highlighters were nowhere to be found in my box, and I was like, oh no, like I wasn't quite sure how it was gonna go. So I contacted them and I was like, hey, so like my highlighters never sent, and because it's like a significant amount of money, I mean they're not like super expensive, but they are like two highlighters that I didn't get. I was like, I'm gonna ask if they can send them to me, and they got back to me right away. They sent them really promptly, they came really quickly, and overall I just had a really good experience. I've heard very positive things about Kaleidos as well from just other people who've used them. I will say in their most recent launch, their like Escape Collection, whatever, that they just came out with a couple months ago or in June, or maybe it was July. Anyway, it doesn't matter. With their blushes that they released that were not only incredibly light, they only released two blushes of very light shades, and then they had depictions of black women on the front of those that were racist, basically. Legally Black Beauty on Instagram made a post about it, and I'm not going to take away her words. I will leave her Instagram handle down below. I would really encourage you to go check her post out about them, because it was new information to me, and I basically hope that Kaleidos fixes that, because I have really enjoyed them so far as a brand, and they seem like they are willing to take criticism and willing to fix things. So I hope that they do in the future and that I can continue to buy from them. I just thought I would quickly mention that, bring it to your attention if you weren't aware of that situation. But I do really like these palettes and I haven't used them in a while, so I thought I would do a video with them. So without further ado, I'm just going to zoom you in to my little eyeballs and we can get started. Okay, so you're zoomed into my face and let's just get into it. So I'm going to first start out with the green palette, and I'm going to take this mustard shade. The palettes have like these little plastic slips with the names on them, but I don't know what way they go. So I don't know which names are actually which, but the palettes are small enough that I'm just going to show you the colors. And so I'm just going to take this mustard shade in my crease as a transition shade. And I really love these palettes. I'm so happy that Kaleidos is a brand that I decided to purchase from, because I think that they're a brand that's really hyped up, especially in the like indie beauty space on YouTube. A lot of people love them, and I think every single amount of praise that Kaleidos has received is very well deserved. Okay, so now that that's in my crease as a transition shade. So I'm going to take this green shade right here. Of the two greens in this palette, it's the one that's just a little bit deeper. And I'm going to put that on my outer corner and my crease as well. And I know that everyone says this, but I really feel like if you really have been like lusting after the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette and like you really like love that palette, I would say, and you really love that palette and you haven't picked it up, you really want to, whatever, I would say go for this one instead. It's definitely less expensive than the Melt one. The Melt palettes are definitely very pricey, and I definitely prefer Kaleidos' formula over Melt. While I do love Melt's formula, I definitely like Kaleidos' better, and I think it's less expensive and a more curated color scheme that gives you a similar vibe, but not as expensive, a little bit smaller. And I'm a big fan. I love using these palettes, and I haven't used them in a hot second. And I'm just going to take a totally clean brush and gently blend the edges of the green out. Okay, and so that is the crease so far. So now I'm actually going to go into the Cyber Bronze palette, and I'm going to take this deep brown and I'm going to put that in my crease and my outer corner as well, just to deepen things up. But I'm not going to blend it as high as the green. And now that I have that color laid down, I'm going to take the brush that I used the green on, and I'm just going to blend that brown out. And I'm going to take a totally clean brush again and blend the edges out. Okay, and so now that we have the crease down, it's very dark and murky, I'm actually going to take this bright red metallic shade in the Cyber Bronze palette as well. I'm not going to cut my crease or anything. I want it to be like a little bit more smoky, not as like super defined. And I'm going to just take that on a flat brush. I'm going to spray the red and I'm going to put that on my lid. And this is one of my favorite shades from any of these 3 Kaleidos palettes that I have. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to take the brush that I used the green shade on. Maybe I'll take a little, like just a very small tap of the green and blend it around. I just want it to be like pretty diffused. And I'm going to take the same brush that I used the brown on and just blend the red out. I just want it to be like smoky and fade into each other. I don't want it to be like necessarily like a cut crease or anything. I don't mind if it gets a little bit muddy because I'm kind of going for like the grungy, smoky feel, you know. I'm gonna take that darker green again and just blend the edges of the red on my lid together with the green. Again, nothing like major, just so that it like blends all into each other. And then I'm going to take that deeper brown and just deepen up the outer corner. I'm going to take the brush that I used for the transition shade and take that mustard again and just blend over the edges of the shadow, because I think it got a little bit lost in there and I want that mustard tone to peek through the edges of the green. And then I'm going to take that red shade on my finger and just intensify it on my lid. Okay, so just quickly to go over my lower lash line, nothing major, it's very much just what I always do. I'm going to take the green that I use in my crease and put that all along my lower lash line close to my lashes, my lower lashes. And I'm going to take the other side of that brush and take a little bit more of that green and just blend out my lower lash line. And on a little tiny brush, I'm going to go in with more of that deep brown shade that I used in my crease, just along my lower lash line, even closer to my lashes, to just define that a little bit more. I'm gonna take a pencil brush and just a touch more of that brown just to blend it into the green. And I'm going to take the same fluffy brush I used with the mustard originally and blend that mustard shade all along the edges of my lower lash line. Okay, and so for my inner corner, I'm going to take this silver shade in the Cyber Bronze palette, and I'm going to, put that in my inner corner. Okay, so my camera cut off when I was doing my inner corner, so I just figured I'd finish the rest of my face and be done with it. So my brow bone, I actually just used the highlighter that I'm wearing today. It's the Kaleidos Space Age highlighter in the shade Rewriter. It's basically just like a peachy champagne shade. And then on my outer corner, I used a little bit of the black from the Sci-Fi Green palette. I used the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara, and I actually used these new lashes. Okay, so I got these from Amazon. Now I really try not to buy things on Amazon, like as much as I possibly can, but my girlfriend was getting something from Amazon, and I just asked her to get these as well. They're the Alice lashes. I don't know where else you can find them, but they basically seem like they're cheaper versions of the Ardell Demi Wispies, and I actually like them. They're really light. They're not like super intense. Are my lashes even? No, they're not, but we're just going to ignore that. And then on my lips, I used my L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liner in the shade 114 Matte & Call. I'm desperately searching for a dupe for this, so please, someone, if you know, tell me. And then I also used the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Raw Embrace, and then the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Diamond Milk on top. And I'm super happy with this look. I honestly love using my Kaleidos palettes. They're truly a joy to work with. They blend super well. They're pigmented. You just don't have to think about them. When you use them, you just can put them on your eyes, and it's just such an enjoyable experience to use them. And I kind of forgot how much, how beautiful they are to work with. So this is your time that if you own these palettes, pull them out and play with them again, because don't forget how good they are. Like, sometimes I do. Also, I hope that they are able to remedy the situation with their blushes. Hopefully they can fix that in the future, so I will be able to continue to buy from them, because I want all of their palettes. Their products are really beautiful, and I have faith in them. I'm choosing to have faith in them because I'm slowly losing faith in every other goddamn brand that is out here right now. So yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. Let me know if there's anything you want to see from me in the future, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. Bye!